Assault on the president, putting focus on the Russia investigation. He helped launch, as the IG report is expected to come out in weeks. It's two separate things. Our next guest accuses Comey of messing up the Clinton probe. House Judiciary Committee member Jim Jordan joins us right now. Congressman, welcome. Jim Comey, you blame Comey for messing up the probe in what way?
Well, I think he was wrong from the get-go. I mean, I criticized him in July when he went out and did his big press conference and said, oh, they weren't going to charge Secretary Clinton. And then I criticized him again in October and took some heat from some Republicans when he reopened the investigation. I think he was wrong throughout this. And understand what he did, too, Brian. Mr. Comey misled the American people in both investigations, the Clinton and the Trump investigation. With Clinton, he's at the urging of the Attorney General, calls the Clinton investigation a matter, not an investigation, when everyone knew it was an investigation. And then with President Trump, he allows the country to believe the president is under investigation when, in fact, he wasn't and had been told by James Comey that he wasn't. So I think this guy just messed everything up from the get-go. And frankly, I think he doesn't have a whole lot of credibility.
And now this one thing is clear. There's a war with the Justice Department because Loretta Lynch wouldn't recuse herself. The FBI is at war with justice. They didn't trust each other during the Obama years. I'm not sure what the situation is now. And in fact, Andy McCabe said over the summer in July that there was pressure from justice to shut down the probing of the Clinton Foundation. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise us. We know where Loretta Lynch was with this. She was meeting with former President Clinton 3 days before Secretary Clinton was supposed to be interviewed. So we know that there was probably that pressure. But again, Andy McCabe doesn't have a whole lot of credibility either. And I think as you look at all this, the thing that bothers Americans so much, and certainly bothers the president, bothers me, is the double standard. I mean, Mike Flynn, while not under oath, makes a false statement to the FBI and gets indicted. Andy McCabe lies 4 times to the FBI, twice under oath to Michael Horowitz, and nothing happens to him. That's the kind of stuff that drives Americans crazy. So the double standard with how Cheryl Mills, Secretary Clinton's lawyer, was treated compared to Michael Cohen in the raid that took place last week on his personal and business locations. I mean, that's the stuff that makes Americans so frustrated.
And the fact that the word intent mattered. You set up a private server, you break the law. We don't know if she meant it, but I'm going to draw up an exoneration letter before I even talk to her, because anybody worth their salt does an investigation, knows where an investigation's heading. I don't know anyone buying that. So Michael Horowitz, May 8th, is going to be asked to testify in front of the Oversight Committee. How important is that? Michael Horowitz is the IG.
Well, yeah, Michael Horowitz, I mean, we got his report on Andy McCabe, which I thought was very good. Shows all the things that Mr. McCabe was up to. Michael Horowitz is well respected. We're looking forward to his big report. It was originally supposed to be here this month. Now reports and indications seem that it's going to happen sometime in May. Look, I look forward to questioning Mr. Horowitz. More importantly, I look forward to getting the report and find out what he's discovered over the last year.
Congressman, you're not shy about giving this opinion, so let me just ask you, are you comfortable with Kevin McCarthy as your next speaker?
Look, Brian, I said this last week many times. There is no race for speaker right now. Paul Ryan is the speaker. He's indicated he's going to continue to serve the remainder of this Congress. If and when there is a speaker's race, I've been encouraged by colleagues to consider that, and I'm certainly open to it. What I do know is we better get focused on what we told the American people we were going to do, because if we don't, that we won't be in the majority, and there won't be a speaker race, at least for Republicans. So let's do what we told the American people we're going to do. If we do that, I think we'll do fine in November, and then we can deal with the speaker's race after that fact.
Well, we know he's not going to be speaker unless the Freedom Caucus is on the same page. Has Kevin McCarthy come to you and said, hey, listen, guys, what's it going to take to get your support, and the Freedom Caucus?
Brian, this is not about some kind of deal. This is not about shuffling around leaders. This is about doing what the American people sent us here to do and making sure we do that so that we can keep the majority and continue to do the things that I think are good policy, the things President Trump campaigned on, build the wall, make the tax cuts permanent, deal with Obamacare, all those things that we told him we were going to do. We stay focused on that. Politics and who gets to be what will all work itself out. But let's focus on those critical things right now.
Right. Of course, you're not talking to me. You're talking to your colleagues who might be watching because they have cable usually in their offices. Congressman, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.
A lot going on, and he's at the forefront of most of it. Meanwhile, President Trump celebrating his tax cut success on tax day. Larry Kudlow, who left CNBC just so he could appear on our show, says there's more winning where that came from. The National Economics Council director joins us live. And the blue wave may already be crashing. A new poll says the Democrats' midterm lead